Welcome to Fish North Georgia the Guide. Here's Sammy Benitez.
Hey guys, this is Sammy Benitez with Fish North Georgia the Guide, and I am coming at you with a report on the Etowah River. So I fish northern Etowah in Cherokee County above Lake Allatoona. So this particular stretch was from Yellow Creek Road down to East Cherokee. The water temps were about 75 when we started in the morning, and they crept up to about 78. Water visibility was about 3 to 4 foot more or less. So it was just the right amount of dirty to get some moving bait action. So I went with intent to try a few different setups, but I ended up finding 2 lures that were working so well for me that I never really changed. So the first lure is this little spinnerbait in a chartreuse color with an orange belly and a willow leaf and a Colorado blade. So this particular lure is a Booyah Pond Crasher, I believe it's called. It's small and I can throw it on spinning setup pretty easy. But the trick to this lure today was throwing it in the shaded banks as close as I could to the bank, in particular where there was a little bit more of a stagnant water and there was laydowns, and I was moving it very quick. So if I found all 4 of those things and I made the perfect cast, I was almost guaranteed to hook up with a fish. You got to cast it all the way to the bank as close as you can without getting hung up, of course, and then you just start reeling, keeping it just subsurface. Real quick, give it a few jerks, keep reeling, and come up over that cover. And a lot of times these spotted bass are just gonna come from up under. They're gonna follow it from behind and just grab it and go back. So I saw this time and time again after once I figured out what was happening or how to get them to react. It was, I could almost call my shots at that point.
There's a fish over there. I know it. Just feel it.
Just got that tingy feeling.
Yeah. He meets all the criteria. The structure, the shade, the low
current
water.
See it pulling out.
Oh. This is a good one. I told you. This is a good one.
So that was number 1, very successful. That's what I caught the majority of my fish on this trip with. And I really didn't put it down. The other lure that I was using that I caught a significant amount of fish on is a lure I've made myself in the garage here. And I'm trying to mimic a lure that I found in Japan made by Jackal called the Ike Chew. And so this particular lure isn't sold in the United States, and I actually can't find it online anymore. So I don't know if it's been discontinued, but I really liked it. It had a small profile, and I would just put it on a wacky hook just like that. And it imitated a little bug, and it sat on top of the surface. And you would just cast it out there, give it a few jerks, and any fish that may be hiding under that brush pile, that shade, will come out and grab it. So I tried to create my own, and it's worked very similar. This one didn't float as well, but I was able to hook up with several fish on this, bass and bluegill. And really similar areas I was throwing that spinnerbait, I was casting this as close as I could to the bank, giving it a few twitches. And usually that's when I would get those strikes. More so when I was close to cover than when I was not.
Oh, fish on. It's a big bluegill. Here we go.
But if you have some kind of small micro topwater lure, then that's what I would throw. I just have this on a wacky rig. If you don't have a lure that you made in your garage, something like a small fluke would work well. It has that slow move. You give it a couple twitches and it kind of sits there in that same area. That'll cause the same reaction. I'm very confident in that. That's a technique that I've used on the Etowah many times. So you can use the same exact setup, just nose hook that fluke on the wacky hook and twitch it a few times, casting in those areas, as well as a wacky rig. You know, get close to that structure. It's tough, don't get hung up, but Get close with a wacky worm. A Senko does well, and I'm sure you're going to catch some fish. So if you haven't already, check out the playlist here on Fish North Georgia, the guide. They cover various bodies of water all around this North Georgia area. So in order to help make yourself a little more successful out on the water, they have plenty of information offered to you. If you want to see some more content, I have my own YouTube channel called Sammy Benitez. You can actually see this trip on there, where we put in, where we took out, exactly where we parked, all that information is there. And I also have a video on that lure I just showed you, how I made it. And if you want to try and replicate it yourself, you're more than welcome to it. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and we will catch you on the next one. Take care. Peace.
Thanks for watching the guide here at Fish North Georgia. Our mission is to build a community of anglers to give you the best and latest information to make your day on the water more successful. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, click the bell so you'll be notified of any future content. Make sure you check us out at fishnorthgeorgia.com, where we carry a large variety of bait manufacturers from here in the North Georgia area. So we appreciate you being part of our community, and we'll see you soon.